Hello, yogis. Welcome to your yoga practice for this week. Hope you're all doing well and feeling good. And welcome to doing something that will strengthen your body, help increase your flexibility, and work on your balance and cultivate a little bit more of a restful mind. Let's get started by scooching back into our chair. So just relaxing into the chair, have the feet flat onto the floor. Palms of the hands up for more energy, down for more grounding. You can close the eyes or have a soft gaze down towards the floor. And let's start to feel our body. Feel your feet resting on the floor. And draw your awareness up through your legs, through your bottom, your back, through your chest, your shoulders, your upper back. Feel your arms, your hands, your fingers. Feel your neck, your jaw, your face. Feel your eyes. Feel even the top of the head. And just notice any parts of the body that might require some modification or skipping. And always feel free to modify or skip anything that doesn't feel good. Do only what makes your body feel good. Let's start to find our Ujjayi breath, our victorious breath, where we breathe in and out through the nose, if that's open and comfortable. Feel the belly rise and fall as you breathe. And add that gentle sound to your breath as if you're fogging a mirror in front of you. Let's draw the palms of the hands together at our heart, and if you'd like to set an intention or a dedication for your practice, go ahead and do so at this time. Then let's open the eyes. Namaste. Great to practice with you today. Let's sit up towards the front edge of our chair and separate the feet a little bit wider than the hips. And let's just have the hands onto the top of the chair. So we're sitting nice and tall, finding mountain pose. And then let's draw those arms out and up as you inhale. Exhale, hands to the heart. So inhale, arms out and up to your comfortable range of motion. Exhale, hands to the heart. And one more time, and remember to follow your rhythm of breath, even if it's different from mine. Hands to the heart. Let's draw the hands onto the thighs. Keep those elbows squeezing in. So feel constant energy in the arms to squeeze those elbows in. Inhale, let's come into a little cow pose. This time as you exhale, let's hinge it a little bit forward. Press into the hands, engage the abdominals to slowly rise on up. So coming into a moving cow-cat. Inhale to your cow pose, come forward, exhale, press into the hands, engage through those abdominals to slowly roll up the spine. So make sure you're engaging through those abdominals when we come back up to help support the back. Deep breath in, elbows still hug in. Deep breath out, round and push up. One more time. Just getting a little bit of forward and back movement with the spine. Nice, and then let's come back to sit up nice and tall. Let's place one set of fingertips on the shoulder or lift it up. Take an inhale, exhale, gentle side bend to a comfortable point. Inhale, press your way back up. You can press in the bottom hand. Exhale, gentle side bend. Inhale to come up. Exhale, gentle side bend. Now let's press our way to come back up and let's go over to the other side. So fingertips on the shoulder is an option if you have any shoulder concerns. Otherwise, you can extend the arm up, keep the shoulder down, take a deep breath in. Exhale, gentle side bend. Inhale, press into that bottom hand so you can assist yourself to come up, and then exhale, gentle side bend. Inhale brings you back up. Exhale draws you back down. And then let's come back to center. Let's place the hands behind us onto the chair and then start to walk or heel toe the feet towards each other. So inner thighs together, gentle squeeze there. So hands on the chair anywhere that feels good. And then let's lean it back. Let's come into kind of a baby fish pose and breathe here. So pressing into the hands, draw the shoulder blades towards each other to that comfortable point. So a lot of energy in the back of the body, and feel this opening along the front of the body. Nice. And then walk your hands back towards you. And then let's cross one ankle in front, or thigh on top. So whatever feels most comfortable. The ankle or the thigh that's on top is the direction that we'll twist. My left leg is on top. So I'm going to take an inhale here, and then now let's twist to the left. So twist to the direction of the leg that's on top or in front. And breathe here. And then let's slowly come back. We're going to stay with this leg configuration. So we're sitting up tall. Let's hinge a little bit forward at the hip. So maintain that strong flat back and then come into the twist. And if you can, if the leg's on top, maybe the elbow comes onto the top of the leg, just to get a little extra twist if that feels good. And I like to place the hands kind of on the hand onto the chest to assist. So just a mini twist. Breathe. And then let's slowly untwist first and then press your way up. Let's go over to the other side. So remember, ankle in front or leg on top. Sit up tall, and then first we'll twist. Try to keep that head over the tailbone. And whenever we twist, always try to think of lengthening. So finding length in the torso, finding length in the spine. And then finding that deep Ujjayi breath, as always. Let's slowly untwist. Now let's sit up tall, hinge a little bit forward, so maintain that strong flat back, and then come into that twist. And maybe it's the forearm or the elbow on the thigh. Maybe that hand is just gently guiding you into a deeper twist, but only if that's safe and comfortable. So always remember to do what feels good. Find that Ujjayi breath, a little bit deeper of a twist, but still thinking about elongating through the torso, through the spine. Let's slowly untwist first and then press your way up. Go ahead, release those feet to a normal, comfortable position. Take an inhale. Exhale, let's drop the chin down towards the chest. And then let's slowly lift the head, and we'll turn just the head to one side. So find that gentle stretch of the neck. Find that Ujjayi breath. See if you can relax the shoulders down just a little bit more. And then let's slowly come through center over to the other side. And just notice how the sides of the body, how the sides of the neck are doing. All right, let's draw the head back to center. Now let's scooch back into our chair so we can warm up through the legs. So I like to do kind of a standard warm up for the legs to make sure we get the different parts of the legs warmed up. Change the direction of your foot circle, especially those ankles and the feet, even the toes, if you can wiggle those toes. Let's inhale, kick it forward, toes back towards you. Exhale, hug it in as high as is comfortable, point the toes away. So inhale, kick it forward. Exhale, hug it in. And last time. Now let's circle the knee, see how the hip's doing for today. Find your range of motion for the hip, and then change the direction of the knee circle. And then let's go over to the other side. First, find those foot circles, get any cracks out, change the direction. Lots of cracks for me on this side. Inhale, press it forward. Exhale, hug it in. Let's inhale, press it forward. Exhale, hug it in. And one last time. Now let's circle. And then change the direction of our circle. Yes. Let's place the foot down. So still pressure back into the back of the chair. And let's start to straighten both legs. Engage strongly through the core, especially the lower belly. Let's point the toes up to the ceiling and just do these little flutter kicks. It's kind of energizing through the legs. And then now let's point the toes. And then we'll lift the toes. Still working through those legs and point. Feel the work of the lower abdominals. We'll lift. Hands can be anywhere to support and point. Nice. And then let's go ahead and release those feet down. Let's lift our back off of the back of the chair. Let's come into our boat pose. Let's keep those feet about hip bone distance apart and extend those arms forward. Move the shoulders down. And then slowly start to hinge back just until you feel the abdominal muscles, even the side waist work, but not so much where you're starting to round. So it can just be a little bit. And if you do need a little bit more support, fingers underneath the legs. Coming into boat pose. Let's go over to one side. Find that Ujjayi breath, even though the body, the muscles are working hard. Come back to center and over to the other side. So you'll feel extra work on the side waist. Let's come back to center. Pull yourself up. Hands onto the thighs, elbows in. Hinge a little bit forward at the hips. Strong, flat back. Maybe stay here just until you feel the muscles of the back working. And if you want a little bit more, maybe the arms extend out, palms facing down. Move the shoulders away from the ears. Notice if you're overarching through the spine. Pull the rib cage and the belly in. Really help to support the spine and the lower back. And then if you want a little bit more, almost like an airplane, will bank to one side, it'll turn to one side. Come back to center, over to the other side. So really think about elongating through the spine and the torso. Let's come back to center, release hands onto the thighs, go ahead and press your way up. All right, let's now carefully come to stand behind the chair for our standing poses. For our standing poses, chairs here for support if you need it. So remember to do only what is safe and comfortable and keeps you upright. So you can keep a hand on the chair the entire time. I'm just moving the chair off to the side so you can see my feet. Let's come into a wide leg mountain pose. So separate the feet, maybe a little bit wider than the hips. Try to have all 10 toes pointing as forward as you can. And then everything else about this standing mountain pose is the same. So we're engaging through those core muscles, shoulders back and down over the hips. Let's draw those palms to face forward, fingers down. Nice. Let's slowly inhale, arms out and up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Now we're going to come right into a little temple pose. So turn those feet out about 45 degrees, and you're welcome to separate the feet a little bit wider. And when we bend those knees, we make sure they don't go past the ankles. I got to just pull my pants up, give me more material to work with. And then we bend those knees towards the direction of those toes. So since this is our first kind of standing pose, doesn't have to be too deep of a temple pose. Nice. So we'll inhale into temple. And then exhale, stand up tall, hands to the heart. Just warming up the legs a little bit more. Inhale into temple. Exhale, hands to the heart. And sometimes I like to watch my knees to make sure that they are indeed tracking toward the center of those toes. That's for knee safety. And then let's turn all 10 toes to point back forward again. You can have your chair in front or have the hands onto the hips. And then you can have a soft bend in those knees, hinge it forward at the hips. Just until you feel a mild sensation of a stretch along the back of the legs, but also a lot of work for the back of the legs. Notice if you're overarching through the spine, pull the rib cage and the belly in and maybe extend those arms out. Just hold here. Getting some heat, energy in the body. And then let's slowly upright. Now let's walk those feet, heel toe them or step them towards each other. We'll shake out. Now let's go into our half sun salute. So now I'm going to give you the side view. Stand behind the chair in our mountain pose, feet hip bone distance apart, all 10 toes pointing as forward as you can. And then let's inhale, arms up. Exhale, soft bend in those knees, fold it forward. Try to maintain a strong flat back. Elbows squeeze into the side of the body. Inhale, straighten the arms like you're doing a little push-up. And then exhale, rebend those elbows. Let's come back down into your depth of a forward fold. Inhale, let's press all the way up, rise with a flat back. And then exhale, hands to the heart. Let's do 2 more rounds on the breath. Inhale to lift. Exhale, hinge it forward. Inhale into your little push-up. Exhale, release back down. Inhale, rise with a flat back. Let's try to maintain that flat back the whole time if you can. Exhale, hands to the heart. So one more time, half sun salute. Inhale to lift. Exhale, hinge it forward. Inhale, our little push-up. Exhale, release back down. Let's rise all the way up. And then hands to the heart. Separate the feet a little bit wider than the hips for a supported forward fold. Soft bend in those knees. Now we'll just round through the spine. Come on to the forearms. And maybe it's a little pedal with the legs if that feels good. If it's safe for you to go lower, hands can be on the seat of the chair, but we're just looking for a gentle, mild sensation of a stretch for the back of the body. And then let's bend through both knees. Pull the navel in when we roll up. Hands onto the top of the chair and then slowly press our way back up. to standing in mountain pose. Now let's keep the right foot where it is and step the left foot back for high crescent pose. So separate those feet hip bone distance apart, all 10 toes pointing as forward as you can. And then let's start to bend that front knee to stack it atop the ankle, track it towards the center of those toes. And then back leg is strong and straight without locking out the knee. Let's adjust the shoulders over the hips, and then maybe one or both arms lift. So coming into high crescent pose. Move the shoulders down and breathe here. Find that deep Ujjayi breath. And then let's come into a little twist. So we'll hinge a little bit forward so the hands can reach the top of the chair, but strong, flat back, long spine. And then let's turn just the shoulders and the chest to the right. Maybe the fingertips, those right fingertips are on the shoulder, or maybe you're lengthening the arm back behind you like you want to shake somebody's hand. Just a gentle twist. And then let's slowly untwist. Now let's come into warrior one. So we'll lift this back heel, draw it in just a little bit, and then set the heel down. So your back toes are pointing towards the outside of the chair. A little bit more balanced of a stance here. Warrior one, still bending that front knee to stack and track. And then when you're ready, maybe one or two or no arms lift. Adjust the pelvis so it's in neutral position. Breathe here. Remember to move the shoulders down away from the ears. And then let's slowly hinge forward so you can reach the chair once again. Now we're coming into warrior two. So we already kind of opened up the legs for warrior two. Warrior two, let's first heel toe this front foot more about towards the center of your chair, and then we'll lift the back heel, maybe step the foot back, and then set it down as we turn the torso to the side. So about heel to arch alignment, back toes in, and we're still bending that front knee to stack it and track it, and then this time we're opening up the shoulders to the left, shoulders, chest, and the hips to the left, and then maybe the arms out. So now coming into warrior two and breathing here. Let's relax this back arm down, flip the front palm, and just come into an easy reverse warrior. So a little side bend. And breathe, move the shoulders away from the ears. Nice. And then let's slowly come back, warrior two. And then we'll release that front hand down onto the chair, and we'll start to heel toe or step this back foot a little bit forward and come into a little balance, a little half moon. Let's start to transfer the weight into that right foot. Lift the back heel. Find your balance. If you can go a little bit more, maybe you're lifting the foot completely off of the floor. Maybe the arm extends up. Hand on the chair for support, and then let's slowly release it down and then turn to face back towards the chair. I'm going to move just my chair over to the other side so you can still see the front of my body for this other side, but you stay right where you are. And then let's first come into mountain pose. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. So now our left foot is going to stay where it is, and our right foot will step back for high crescent base. Separate those feet about hip bone distance apart or a little bit wider, all 10 toes pointing forward. Let's start to bend now your left knee to stack it and track it. Back right leg is strong and straight, and then maybe one or no arms or both arms lift. Find high crescent pose. Notice what's happening with the spine. Sometimes we tend to overarch, so pull everything in, tighten it up to give your spine an internal hug. Now let's come into a little twist. So hinge forward at the hips. You can reach the chair again. Right hand stays on the chair, and then we'll just turn the shoulders and the chest to the left. So fingertips on the shoulder, or you can reach your back arm, your left arm back behind you, thumb pointing up. Easy, gentle twist. Make sure the hips are not twisting, so it's just the upper half of the body. And then let's slowly unwind. Let's lift that back heel for warrior one, draw it in, and then set it back down. So that back foot is angled to the toes are pointing towards the outside of the chair. Same thing with that front leg, stays right where it is, and find warrior one. Find your Ujjayi breath. Nice. Nice. Now let's come into warrior two. So a little bit hinge forward so we can reach the chair. And then this front foot, we're going to heel to toe. So it's about at the center of the chair. And we'll lift that back heel and kind of step that foot back and set it down. So heel to arch alignment, back toes are slightly in, and then we'll open up the torso out to the right. So we're still bending that left knee to stack and track, still strong on the back leg, maybe one or two arms lift for warrior two, but breathe here. And then let's relax that back arm down, flip the front palm, reverse warrior. Ooh. Find that Ujjayi breath. All right. And then let's come back to warrior two and then relax the hand onto the chair. Start to heel toe. My shoes are a little sticky, so heel toe that back foot towards the front, and then let's transfer the weight into that front leg. Maybe just lift the heel off, that back heel off the floor. Maybe lift the foot. Maybe the arms. Whatever feels good. Little half moon, quarter moon pose, and then go ahead and release down. Turn to face back towards your chair. I'm going to move the chair to face you now. Let's separate those feet so they're nice and wide, all 10 toes pointing forward. Take an inhale. As you exhale, gentle bend in those knees as you hinge it forward. Forearms onto the top of the chair or hands onto the seat of the chair. Just getting a nice easy stretch, and then maybe a little sway of those hips right and left. Let's try to maintain a strong flat back here. Let's come back to center, hands onto the top of the chair, elbows hug in, and then press your way back up. Now let's separate the feet a little bit wider if it's comfortable, because we're going into a side lunge. So now let's turn those toes just a smidgen out to the side, not quite 45 degrees, but feel free to adjust depending on your comfort. Hinge forward at the hip, so maintain that strong flat back. Draw your bottom a little bit back behind you, and then let's bend one knee and straighten the opposite leg. So really make sure this bending knee does not go past the toes and is just tracking towards the center of those toes. Get a nice easy stretch on the inner leg, and then we'll come back to center over to the other side. And really making sure about that alignment with the knee. We'll just move side to side. Exhale as you go into your side lunge. Inhale as you come up. Exhale over to the other side. So still working on some strength for the legs, but also some nice stretch for the legs as well. Let's do one more time on each side. Just kind of open things up. And then let's come back to center, soft bend in those knees. Let's go ahead and come all the way up. Walk those feet a little bit closer towards each other. And then let's lift one heel, turn those toes and the knee to point out to the side, coming into triangle pose. And then heel to arch alignment and draw those back toes in. So it's very similar to warrior two base, except both legs are straight and the feet are a little bit closer towards each other, but that's your personal preference. So you can have them a little bit closer or keep them the same distance as your warrior two feet. Let's extend one or both arms out, move the shoulders down, and then engage through those thighs. So really strong in the legs. We'll draw those hips back and reach that lead arm to where the wall and the ceiling meet. Really feel lots of extension. And then we're just going to come back. So we'll reach, hips draw back, kind of opening things up in the hip area and the side waist. And then now this time we'll reach, hold here, and then let's come into our full triangle pose. Gaze is wherever feels good. Arms are wherever feel good. Bottom arm can be on the top of the chair for a little bit more support. And then to come out, soft bend in that lead knee to kind of swivel your way up to warrior two, and then relax hands and arms down. Over to the other side. So first find all 10 toes pointing forward, and then let's adjust those feet. So both legs relatively straight. Now the other lead leg, the toes are pointing out to the side, back foot just slightly in. And then we'll open the chest and the shoulders to the back of the chair. Let's extend those arms out, move the shoulders down, and then the hips will draw back as you reach to where your wall and ceiling meet. So you're just getting lots of length. Think of getting lots of space, taking up as much space as you can, and then slowly upright. Still engaging through both thighs and back. And now we'll reach and hold here. And then we'll change the position of the arm, opening up the chest, gazing wherever feels good, but thinking of moving the shoulders away from the ears and elongating through the spine and the torso. So lots of length and lots of breath. So find that Ujjayi breath. And then let's bend through that lead knee to come back to warrior two first, and then go ahead and release down, and then start to walk those feet. Ooh, feels good. Let's move the chair off to the side, or you can keep the chair in front for your tree pose. So let's find our way to mountain pose with the feet a little bit closer together. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's start with a hand onto the chair. We'll lift one heel, turn the knee out just a little so you can place the heel on the inside of the ankle and find tree pose. Let's come into an active tree. So make sure you feel secure, especially with that bottom foot. If you need to put more of that foot onto the floor, go ahead and do so, because we're going to be moving the arms. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, hands to the heart. So make sure you stay upright and safe. Find the rhythm of the movement to match the rhythm of the breath. And let's do one more time. Remember, you can keep one hand on the chair if you need for balance. Let's go over to the other side. Find all 10 toes pointing as forward as you can comfortably. Let's lift, open it out. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, hands to the heart. And one last time. Hands to the heart. Let's release. I'm going to give you the side view for our standing camel. Separate the feet hip bone distance. Arms can draw back behind you with the palms facing each other, or you can interlace the fingers if that's comfortable. Let's open the shoulders, open the chest, move the tailbone down. So really engage through the abdominals, and maybe the gaze is up. So even though we're stretching out through the front of the body, there's a lot of work happening in camel pose. So tailbone down, abdominals are engaged, core is engaged, and then let's slowly upright. All right. Now let's carefully have a seat in our chair for our grounding poses. Our standing poses also work on our flexibility, so we already got some good stretches in while we were working on strengthening the body. So let's go ahead and lean back into our chair. Option one for stretching the hips, we can just draw that thigh as close to you as is comfortable. If you can place your heel onto the chair, go ahead and do so, or just kind of hold your leg up there. Option two, only if this is safe, is our thread the needle pose. So make sure the joints are happy, ankle over the thigh above the knee, lift the toes up to the knee, and we're leaning back into the chair. So wherever you are, lean back into the chair. And if thread the needle pose, maybe you're just kind of relaxing back so you can open up through the chest. So find what works for you. We're just easy stretch for the hip area. Remember, option one is a nice option too. You can still kind of lean it back, or only if this is safe for the joints and feel good. So it should be just a mild sensation of a stretch. We never want to force our way into a stretch. Slowly release and go over to the other side. So option one, hug it in. You can use your arms as much as you'd like. Option two, if it's safe on this side and feels good, ankle over the thigh above the knee, flex through the foot. Maybe you can keep a hand on that ankle for a little bit more support, or maybe relax it back so you can open up through the chest. So find what works best for you. We can breathe comfortably, maybe even deepen your Ujjayi breath a little bit more. Maybe add a little stretch if that feels good, and then go ahead and release. I'm still sitting, scooching back into my chair. Let's give ourselves a pat on the back and relax elbow and shoulder down. Maybe a little support, maybe just gently drawing that upper arm a little bit closer towards your chest if that feels good. And then go ahead and release over to the other. Job well done. And then nice easy stretch. Feel things start to slow down for our final pose of Shavasana. Go ahead and release. Lean it back. One more stretch for the chest. This is always a good one. I like to incorporate this stretch multiple times during my day, since sometimes I tend to round through the spine if I'm on the computer. All right, now let's get into our comfy position for our final pose of our seated Shavasana, our seated corpse pose. Palms up for more energy, palms down for more grounding. I need a little bit more energy for the day, so I'm going to turn my palms to face up. Close the eyes or have a soft gaze down. Let's take an inhale together. Exhale out the mouth. And enjoy these next couple minutes of Shavasana. And slowly begin to deepen your breath. Send some movement into your fingers, into your toes. Then let's draw the palms of the hands together at our heart and recall that intention or dedication you set at the beginning of your practice. Let's stack the hands atop the heart to take a moment to feel gratitude to yourself for coming to your practice. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through your practice today. As always, it is a privilege and a joy. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.